Welcome to Clear Signals, your monthly dose of AV clarity, straight from the Almo Pro AV experts.
And as always, we are your hosts, Keith Mecutchen.
And I'm John Wasko.
This episode, we're going to talk a little bit about some collaboration upgrades. Now, what could that mean? That could be what's driving demand. It could be how to ensure compatibility and why these are just little quick wins for your customer and yourself.
And we've got our expert, Pat Booth, who knows a little thing or two about collaboration tech and some services kind of inside and out. So, Pat, let's start with you, buddy. Tell us a little bit about your role here at Almo.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on, first of all. I am a business development manager here at Almo Pro AV. Right now, I work with both the Barco ClickShare line and the Avacor line. In the past, I've repped all the Legrand brands, so kind of have familiarity. Been in the industry since 2007. That makes me feel pretty old, coming up on 20 years in the industry, and really just enjoy the technology, enjoy the changes that have happened, and really kind of embrace it all.
So, Pat, it looks like you're a big Bills fan. I don't know what we've done to schedule Bills fans back to back, but we got to see. We got to talk to somebody about that.
Who did you have last month? Kidding. And I don't know if they're a real fan or not.
We had Tom Keefe, and he had a Govee light that turned red, white, and blue, and a lot of our viewers got confused for a real football team, like the people who actually lead the AFC East. They'll be the Patriots.
Yeah, it's true. Big game coming up this week, Keith. I know. We agreed not to speak about it, but I mean, we're live fine. Now, so what are we going to do?
This is our job, so it doesn't count as the shun, so it's fine.
All right, we're unshunning him.
Over on James Cook over 150 yards. That's what I say. That's all I'll say out there.
We will see.
There we go. All right, so Pat, what are some of the ROI benefits of plug and play and BYOD solutions for corporate clients?
Great question, John. Off the top of my head, my biggest thing I would think would be somebody bringing their own device into a meeting. They're familiar with their own piece of equipment, right? Whether it's their laptop, their cell phone, whether they're using an app, or they have a BYOD device that they connect to, pushing a button, something. If people are familiar with their own device, they're going to be a lot more at ease, and it'll just make the thing go much more seamlessly. You're going to be focusing on the content, not the technology. I think that's a huge thing. And the other thing is, I think it really helps create a seamless transition between the in-office and the work from home. So it really kind of enhances the whole hybrid experience, because if you're using your own technology, you're using it at home every day, you come into the office, you go into conference room B, you're able to plug in and start right away without really kind of any lag in time. So you don't have IT involved. If you guys remember back in the day what it was like when somebody brought a projector in and then they're plugging their source in and they can never get it going, and then you're keystoning. We don't want that anymore. That's not the way of the world these days.
Yeah. So, I think in our industry, it's funny, we laugh about it. The average time to set up a conference room or even to deploy a meeting is like 7 minutes or 5 minutes, something insane. Even in our industry, I think the three of us have sat on enough calls waiting for presenters to be like, okay, let me connect, let me do this and that. And we're in the industry. So what are kind of tips that you have that can help us, help our partners, help their customers deploy, a quicker meeting for workflow?
It really comes back to having those conversations with the end user and making sure that the reseller and the end user and you guys are all in sync, right? You want to make sure there's a great needs assessment done up front. You want to make sure a site survey is done if you're doing a bigger deployment, to make sure that you're prepared for really the unexpected to happen. Taking a look at those needs, having conversations. I can't stress, you guys are two of the best in the business at it, but making sure that you're having those conversations and that reseller is having those conversations with the end user, because the last thing you want to do is sell them something they don't need, or maybe not scratch enough and claw enough to get all the answers to find out what the total solution could be. So, I think that's a huge deal. And then once you actually have deployed and, you've commissioned the system, I think a big thing to make sure that everyone from, the president of the company, who really probably never touches technology, down to, Bill, the maintenance guy, whoever has to use that, make sure that they're trained properly on that equipment, because it's just going to collect dust and not be utilized properly if you're, again, and that comes from that conversation, because if you've oversold them, then you're not going to use it. But if you've sold them and taught them the right way how to use those products, I think you're selling a solution and making sure that you have buy-in from everyone that's going to be using that technology.
All right, so Pat, when it comes to ensuring compatibility, what are things that we can do and ensure that the system is being upgraded properly? Great question.
And it again comes back to your preparation and your conversations and listening to what the reseller is telling you, listen to what the end user's needs are. If you do that needs assessment up front, then you know what you have, because not everything is going to be a teardown, right? There might be components, there might be things that stay in their solution that they work perfectly fine today that can, be technology forward and work with whatever we're bringing in. Also want to make sure everything can talk to each other properly. You want to make sure that if they're using Teams, you're not providing them a solution that's set up for Google Meet or Zoom. So we want to make sure those boxes are checked. Is your audio solution and your conferencing solution, do those all use Dante? Do those, we want to ask these questions and make sure that we're getting the correct fit for all these. And just a little plug for Barco. One of the great things that Barco does in this situation is Barco has their alliance partners. So you can go right on their website with ClickShare. You can check in if you want to use let's say a Jabra bar with the Barco solution. It'll tell you which ones that you can search by manufacturer, you can search by part number, you can search by Barco part number and find out what's compatible with those. So again, doing the steps up front, make sure that you have a great installation, make sure you have a powerful solution, and it's going to make sure that you have an end user and a reseller that's going to come back for more, hopefully in the future.
No, it's good to know, especially for those older rooms that we walk into that might have some outdated technology, but budget doesn't call for replacing that as of right now. So it's always good to know.
Yeah. So, really, what are you seeing kind of in today's world of what end users can expect the collaboration room to look like? And then how is it evolving, with people, either getting back to work or still doing hybrid? What are you seeing out there?
Well, I mean, you brought up the keyword, John. It's hybrid, right? Everyone wants to make sure that whatever you design is flexible enough that you can take care of the needs of your workers that are in office, also take care of the needs of people working from home. So you want to make sure it works well with those hybrid work models. Everyone wants, the latest and greatest is the intuitive technology and the cameras. So if you're using cameras, do they have an AI feature of some kind that does like a motion capture or, captures the speaker and follows them throughout the room? Again, those are decisions that you have to make with your clients. And you also want to make sure, I say it all the time, just because we're in the industry, make sure the audio is great too. Audio quality has become such a bigger need these days because you want to make sure you have the equity between the video quality and the audio quality. So you want to make sure that you're not just providing a solution. Again, with Barco, here's a great example. We have an all-in-one bar, which are all the rage these days. Everyone has an all-in-one bar solution. I'm not going to sell you that solution if you're trying to build something out of a small huddle space or maybe a medium huddle space at the most, because the range of audio on that is only about 12 to 15 feet. So you want to make sure that you're selling the right thing for people. So make sure that you do beef up that audio, because they're going to thank you for it in the end when, they're not shouting from across the room because nobody can hear and the mic's not picking up. Those are some big things that I think, and the ease of use. ClickShare, I'll give you one more. I mean, you're walking in, you're plugging in a button, you push it, and 7 seconds later, you're sharing on a screen. That's the kind of thing that people want. And making the impact of that clear to your resellers, clear to the end user, how easy it can be to do those solutions, I think is priceless.
No, absolutely.
And I think for things just to work, right? Like that's
right.
To work how they're intended, to make it easy. It's perfect.
Need your logic to go away, John. Things don't need to work. That would make our job obsolete. Just saying. Plug the sales guys. Anyways, so just kind of going off of, you talked about, future, hybrid, things of that nature. From John and I's perspective, and I'm sure you see it too, Pat, AV over IP, network, cloud-based, everything is so, that is the buzzwords that everyone wants to talk about. do you see the BYOD? Do you see the collaboration shifting more towards cloud-based, or is it going to always be hardware-based?
I mean, who knows what the future holds? I think we're definitely moving towards more of a software-driven, more cloud-managed services. But again, I love the movie Moneyball. Billy Beane, played by Brad Pitt, says to people, adapt or die, right? It's what you have to do. You have to change with the time. So what's a new revenue stream for folks now? Well, maybe you're moving to AV as a service. Maybe it's a monthly recurring charge. You're building revenue on a month-to-month basis as opposed to making it all hardware-based. And then you're becoming a service provider. You've got to be able to change with the times. But again, with AI, with the cameras and all that, with the management systems, if you've got a huge deployment, to be able to go in and through a GUI, be able to manage all your collaboration devices on one platform, I think that speaks to itself and just makes it a lot easier. So we're really trying to make the technology easy for people to use and make it as user-friendly as possible. And with software, it gives you the opportunity to upgrade and make changes much quicker and on the fly and do a lot of things that you couldn't do even 10 years ago.
Nice. Sure. Well, going to wrap it up with one last question. It's kind of time for our signature question, if you will. So, Pat, what's your clear signal for success when it comes to collaboration upgrades?
I think I've said it probably 20 times. Communication, right? Clear signals, it's a great segue for communication. If everybody's talking, if the end client's needs are heard, if the reseller's needs are heard, all of us work together, in synchrony to really kind of provide a total solution and make sure that everyone wins in that, right? Because again, you have a happy end client, they're happy with their reseller, that reseller partner is happy with the solution that you provided, and we're able to provide such a larger scope of business to them that it really makes it so that they do come back to us for more. Because it's, you can buy boxes anywhere, but you can't get what you two guys do on a daily basis. You can't get that at any other distributor. They're just not going to find it. It's what we do every day. And to be honest, we are the best at it in the world. We really are. And you guys should take a bow for that, because you guys are on the front lines talking to the customers every day, and we get this feedback. So amazing job, and keep talking.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny. I think we've had 3 episodes of this, and John, correct me if I'm wrong, I think every answer so far to our clear signal question has been communications as the answer. Picking up a theme here, Pat. We appreciate your time, buddy. We appreciate you buttering us up. Our egos are feeling good now. We're gonna go hit the phones, make some phone calls. We appreciate your insight on the AV. Not so much on the football, but
may the best team win.
I'm sure they will.
Yes, I'm sure the Bills will be winning. So go Bills.
Well, thanks. Well, don't forget to subscribe and join us next month as we break down AV for hybrid classrooms. Until then, keep your signals clear and your installs cleaner.